Today we're going to make a fun magic card using From All of Us stamp set. Ready? Ta-da! I used the Beauty of the Earth DSP as a background. So let's get started. I set my stamp apparatus up and then I will use the window sheet. With the window sheet you have to use the Stays On because it works with a non-porous surface. And be careful when it comes time to clean your stamp off. You have to use the special Stays On cleaner, which isn't pictured in the catalog, but the number is there with the window or with the Stays On ink. Be careful with the Stays On cleaner. You can't use it on the photopolymer stamps. It will, or if you do use it, you have to wash it off quickly because it can destroy the rubber from the photopolymer. So then I'm just going to take my basic white, and it is a 5.5 by 4 1/4 with Memento ink. Then I have created a mask. I'll just place the mask right over my stamped image, and then I have placed some stamps to make a fun background behind my fun animals, along with the sentiment. And then you see the window sheet fits right over the top. And then we'll color. I'm using both watercolor markers and blends because I didn't have some of the colors from the Brights collection in blends. So you'll see I'm using the watercolor markers. In some of the places I've used the color lifter with the blends. This color is Granny Apple Green. I use both the light and the dark. The other colors are the Daffodil Delight and the Mango Melody. I'm just adding a little bit of the dark to the leaves. You'll notice when I color, I will outline the bigger area and then quickly color in the inside. I find when I do that, I can get a real straight line on the outside edge. This is Bermuda Bay. I'm using the light first and then I'll go in with the dark. Now with alcohol markers, when you color them at first, they're darker. When they're dry, they're much lighter. So you have to keep that in mind as you're blending colors. And also be careful, they do soak through the paper. I just wanted to lighten up the face a little bit, so I just used the lifter. And then I'm going in and putting some shading with a darker color. and then I can lift color around the edges if it has seeped over. Another thing to consider in using the blends is they're so wet, so liquidy, that you can easily go outside of your lines that you want. So try to stay away from your outside edge with too much of the color, because it could seep over. And that's why the color lifter was created, because it could run past your outline. So my favorite way is to use the light color first, color the whole surface, and then come in with the dark, and then go in with the lifter and lift where I want it to be a little lighter. And then I go in with the dark and give some shadowing. And with crumb cake, I'm creating a surface for my animals to be on. There you go. And then you see how that fits right over. I'm going to be trimming it down after I adhere them together. So I just made a circle punch, folded it in half. I'm going to put adhesive on it. And then right where the fold is, I'm going to place my two pictures, two stamped images, and then I'll take a circle punch, a smaller circle punch, because I'm going to use twine to use as my puller. Or the handle. I'm just going to make a little knot, and then I'll trim that off. Okay, now for the base. What I'm going to do, that's a 12 by 5.5. I'm going to score it first at 4. And then I'm going to move it over about 1/8 of an inch and score it again. And then I'm going to take the first score and score it at 4 1/4, and then move it over about 1/8, so that the center of the card will be 4 1/4. So there's 2 scores on each side, so you need to fold the scores. The second one is kind of hard because they're so close together, but this is going to give the thickness that you need for the card or the inside to slide through, because we're going to be using some dimensionals inside. Okay, then you just use whichever DSP you want. Just put the adhesive on the outside edge, because we're going to cut out the center, and then we'll be able to reuse those center pieces on other cards. With a rectangular stitch rectangle, we cut out the centers. Okay, and then you can see this is a 5 by 3 3/4. And then we'll take another piece that's a 5.5 by 3 3/4, and that will be our center mechanism. Okay, I've cut dimensionals in half. We're going to do this a lot for this card, and that is what is going to hold my centerpiece in. And and then just fold the flaps and put adhesive on one side. Fold it together. And that will hold your card together. Then you can see that there's a divider inside, so you slide your card stamped images. Don't forget to punch. So I should have punched through the DSP as well. It will just make the card work easier. Then I decided I didn't like the way it pulled all the way out, so I decided to make stoppers on the inside. So I just cut some more dimensionals in half, put 2 of them facing out. Do not take the backs off at the bottom edge. And then take the other half and place the sticky side up. Do not take the backings off. Sticky side up. And then we're going to slide it into the back section of the card and press down so that the halves that were sticky up will stay, and the other halves will stay on the back of the printed image, which creates a stopper. Thanks so much for joining my magic card class using From All of Us stamp set from Stampin' Up! Thanks.